Alan Wake 2 is a survival horror game developed by Remedy Entertainment, published by Epic Games, and released on October 27, 2023. Remedy has a track record of well-written, story-centered games that play out in a variety of fashions. All of their games are focused on action in some sort of way, and Alan Wake 2 is their first dive into true survival horror. Alan Wake 2 is Remedy's most ambitious title, with multiple elements like an engrossing interweaving story, exceptional graphics, and horror themes, while weaving together this particular connective tissue that puts you into a perpetual state of participation and involvement. Alan Wake 2 continues Alan's journey through the mysterious, twisting, and treacherous Dark Place, while a new character, FBI agent Saga Anderson, and her partner, Alex Casey, arrive at Bright Falls to investigate some murders and missing persons cases. Saga's and Alan's story quickly intertwine, and they both find themselves trying to save each other from the dark presence, a looming otherworldly force that can turn people into shadowy savage-like creatures known as the Taken. Both Saga and Alan face vicious monsters while uncovering new and old truths that unveil possible interpretations on the puzzling obstacles that vex them. The story of Alan Wake 2 is a confusing one, but one that is incredibly spectacular and fanatic. Alan Wake 2 is the precipice of the overarching universe of games created by Remedy and converges the games in an extraordinary and explosive way that can only get you theorizing and excited for the next release. The writing and storytelling is beautifully calculated and purposeful, which excels by how assured and meticulous the directing of it is. The story is able to breathe splendidly through the rich atmosphere that parallels the eloquent narrative. The story grips the horror aspect with its rhythmic ebbs and flows that can only be described as innovative on the gaming front as a whole.
Go on. I should be taking notes here. This is great stuff.
Notes to that other Alan Wake in that room writing this as we speak? Are we all in your story, Alan?
Gameplay is split between Saga and Alan, and while they control the same, actually playing as them yields different ways of traversing the world. Both Alan and Saga can gain a variety of weapons and can aim and shoot their weapons to take down the Taken enemies. Taken are surrounded in darkness, so you must use your flashlight and its light charges to rid the darkness first, before you begin taking your shot, or else you are going to be wasting precious ammunition. While you are banishing the darkness though, other enemies might use that advantage to attack you. You can dodge enemies' attacks to get out of the way, and timing a dodge perfectly will make an enemy trip, giving you more time to assess your situation. You can also simply melee an enemy if you run out of ammo, or to quickly stun them so you can make a quick getaway.
I didn't know trees got that big. Gives me the creeps.
You need to get out more. It is kind of creepy, though.
Saga's campaign sees her sleuthing things up in the town and surrounding areas. Using her Mind Place reveals a case board that she can instantly come back to track collectibles like puzzles and supply stashes and story beats. You can also upgrade your weapons within the Mind Place after finding enough manuscript fragments from lunchboxes hidden throughout the landscape. You can find health and ammo among other things like this while playing as Saga. Saga also has charms that can be equipped to her bracelet that gives her different buffs, like a charm that gives her an extra flashlight charge, or a coffee mug charm that saves her from death but shatters when it's used.
Page of story. Killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us.
Alan's story takes place with him still stuck in the dark place, desperately trying to find a way out and a conclusion to his story. Alan uses a lamp to change up his scenery and to traverse his puzzle-like environments in order to move forward. You can collect a light from one spot and release it at another to open up new paths. Echoes can be found that reveal lore, and words of power etched into the environment give Alan additional attributes that help relieve you through your trek within the darkness. Similar to Saga, Alan also has a mind place he can travel to that acts in the same way. Voice acting is amazing, like all the other games conjured up by Remedy. Saga's character in particular made me love the character a lot more than I thought I would. With Saga being the new kid on the block coming into this ever-expansive franchise, I thought she wouldn't fit in with the already well-established cast of entertaining characters. Her voice acting, done by Melanie Libbard, really sold me on her. I was also impressed with the fully voiced manuscripts and the radio shows as well.
Got chronic back pain from my spinal stenosis.
Oh dear. You know, when I'm feeling stiff, I find a light snack helps. So, did you try that beef jerky?
No, lunch is at 11, and I wanted to save my appetite because today was the fish soup with crackers.
The gunplay while taking down the Taken always feels fast and terrifying, giving you such an exceptional rush. I was always on edge whether I was up against 3 fast-moving enemies or 1 slow-moving one. Combat always feels rewarding, and the embroiled story mixed with the tense atmosphere cranks the horror mood up even more, making encounters stressful in the best possible way. Item management was never a problem for me, since resources are more than abundant, even on the hardest difficulty, which was disappointing because it made the severity of conserving and being careful less important than it should be. Regardless, the art direction, visuals, and soundscape overturn the excessive resources and makes every moment feel like your last.
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake 2 is Remedy's finest game visually. There is so much care and detail riddled everywhere. Techniques used in Remedy's past game Control are used here and look better than ever. Remedy really has a way to express their ideas in ways that no other has ever done before. There is some imagery that is displayed here in Alan Wake 2 that majestically accommodates the graphical fidelity functionally as well as aesthetically. Alan Wake 2 graphically really demonstrates an avant-garde approach that can only ever be outdone by Remedy themselves.
Shit!
The sound and music are on par with how the game looks. Between each chapter there are different songs that play that describe what is happening within the story. This approach to bookend sections of playtime with a song really gives it this journey adventurous vibe, like you made it to the end of a TV episode and are ready to watch the next one. Enemies' voices and the sounds they make while they dash from place to place are chilling and unnerving, especially during Alan's sections where they are constantly murmuring his name threateningly.
Wake.
I did have a number of issues playing the game. Sometimes characters would be stuck in odd places. I had some glitches with items or collectibles not showing up at all, making me miss some things altogether. At one point, I believe I did a chain of events out of order, which caused something to not trigger at all. There have been a lot of other issues Alan Wake 2 has been having, like bugs that stop you dead in your tracks and you can't continue. Red documents and collectibles go back to being highlighted as if they were never selected. Items picked up read as if they haven't been picked up. While these problems and others are bothersome, The overall experience playing this game easily eclipses any negative happenings. Alan Wake 2 is an exuberant and colossal force to be reckoned with. It is a wild congregation of ideas and components based on past games made by Remedy. Not only that, it ushers in the stories and design from past games poetically and effortlessly. Taking into account that Alan Wake 2 simply on its own is already a fun, well-made, intoxicating trip through the darkness and state of mind, it is wild to see how all these factors can fit so fondly together. The game has a slew of problems, whether it's graphical errors or game-stopping bugs. There really is no game like Alan Wake 2 though, and the spiraling story, fantastical characters, addicting gameplay, and horror mystery makes it a must-play title.
All ripped to pieces along the way.
I give Alan Wake 2
Not the story I hoped it would be.
a 9 out of 10.
This is not the ending I wanted. This story will eat us alive.